Start. Para. If we are to aim at economic growth of 7 to 8%, which has been achieved in other countries and which alone can provide the jobs we need for our growing labor force, then we need much larger investment and much greater efficiency in key infrastructure sectors such as power, roads, ports, irrigation, railways, and telecommunications. Sound financial management holds the key to progress in this area. Adequate supply of quality infrastructure depends crucially on the financial viability of these sectors, which in turn depends upon the adoption of reasonable cost recovery policies. To take the example of power, many state governments are unable to finance new investment in power generation because of the financial weakness of the state electricity boards. Taking advantage of the central government's initiative to encourage private investment in power generation, many state governments are actively trying to attract private sector investment into this area, but private sector investors are unwilling to invest in power unless the state governments and the central government provide guarantees and counter guarantees to reassure the private sector producers that they will be paid for the power they generate. Such counter guarantees are justifiable only if they are viewed as providing temporary breathing space, during which state electricity boards undertake necessary reforms of their institutional structure, operating practices, and pricing policies. In the long run, we cannot escape the reality that the users of electricity must pay for its cost. The same criterion holds for other infrastructure sectors also. Once financial viability is assured, we can expect a renewed surge of both public sector and private sector investment in these areas. Para. I shall now deal with some issues of social equity and poverty alleviation. In my first budget speech itself, I had emphasized that economic growth and restructuring are not end in themselves. They are only the means to improving the lives of ordinary citizens. I wish to assure the House that this concern has been central to our strategy from the very beginning. Experience in our own country, as also from all over the world, shows that the surest antidote to poverty is rapid and broad-based growth. This is precisely what our economic reforms seek to achieve. We also recognize that the fruits of growth will take time to reach some of the poorest and weakest sections of our society. To ensure that they too derive benefit in the short run, we have given the highest priority to strengthening programs of rural development, employment generation, primary education, primary health, and other key social sector programs. Stop.